Hey, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom.
Peace and blessing. Oh, Shalom, man. Got the brother Isaiah, meaning God is my salvation. Got the brother Denal and the brother Azrael, meaning God is my help. Right? We are the hopeful elect. And peace and blessings to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. And shout out to the sister Mary Bethany that anointed our king with the precious ointments before his burial. And also shout out to our ancestors that lost their lives behind fighting for our laws, statutes, and commandments, man. They set an example for us to this day in 2025 to look at with honor and integrity. And I pray that we always remember them, man. So yeah, today is Wednesday, so this is Wisdom Wednesday. And today's class is going to be touched on biblical scholarship doesn't make you born again. And before I go any further, the brother Denal is going to pull up the shofar video, and that's going to start the class off, man. Khan, all praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High, for the mighty blowing of the shofar. So, yeah. So the video is called "Biblical Scholarship Doesn't Make You Born Again," and I thought about this title, just having a conversation with the brothers, man. And really, we were just really touching on some points that we're going to touch on in this video, on how just because a person may know a lot of knowledge when it comes to the Bible, or just because a person been in this knowledge for a long time doesn't mean that they're born again. And it's a matter of fact, I almost forgot. Can you pull up that video? Because I actually seen this video 2 days ago, and I'm like, dang, this is something I was meditating on. So when I seen this video, it's like a wake up call to like, bro, this ain't no joke, man. Like the Bible said only a remnant gonna make it. So this AI put it in simpler form, man. When you watch it, like, okay, this what the Bible's saying, and you watching this video and going back to what the Bible said, it's like, man, it's crazy. But you can play it, King. Fair use. Fair use. It's for educational purposes only.
Come.
No, Lord, this can't be. I did all of the feast days and Sabbaths.
Your lack of love brought you here. You belong to us now.
But I wore all the fringes and knew all the scriptures. This is not fair.
It is done.
That's a cold video, bro.
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life
was cast into the lake of fire.
Con. And that's a cold video, man. And just because it's the scriptures say, you're gonna have many people in that day that's gonna be saying, but if you get that scripture, King, on my phone, there's gonna be many people in that day. It's gonna be saying, Lord, right? Didn't I do this in your name? And when you watch that video, it make you really see that. Like, it's gonna be brothers, sisters, children they're gonna be like, Lord, didn't I, what I'm saying? Didn't I go out and teach? Right? Didn't I cast out demons? Didn't I wear my fringes? Didn't I go to the feast days? And then what the demon told him, your lack of love is what got you here. Because a person, that person really truly wasn't born again. They had the outer appearance down pat. But when it came to actually them when it comes to actually the weightier matters of the law, when it comes to the inner man, they wasn't never born again. But you got it, King. Was it you get it. Somebody can read it.
This is Matthew 7:22. It says, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works?
So you gonna have people in that day, man. Lord, they're gonna be confused on why they in that lake. Wait, what? Lord, didn't I stay up all night making constant videos? Lord, didn't I, I wore my fringes every day? Lord, didn't I go there every feast day? Lord, didn't I heal this person that was blind and sick? And what he said in Matthew 7:23, King?
Many will say also, didn't I debate that top Christian scholar?
Yeah.
Didn't I appear on No Jumper in the Breakfast Club for your name's sake?
Mm-hmm.
Right? In Matthew 7:23, it says, and then will I profess to them, I never knew you.
What are you gonna say?
I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
So it's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be three. It's gonna be three. I ain't gonna say just three things, but a couple things gonna be going on. You're gonna have people feeling like they did it themselves. I cast out demons. You're gonna have people saying, didn't I do this? But it wasn't them. They were so people see it in its truth. It's a lot of things. People they think they doing this because of their strength. They think they waking up and making 5 or 6 videos a day because of them. They think they going out and teaching and people listening to them. They think that people listening to them instead of the Most High. So a lot of people are getting that they getting that feeling of, it's me, I'm doing this. And you're gonna have some people that actually was doing these things, but behind closed doors, they were working iniquity and doing folly and madness, man, because they were never born again. And it could be a person that been in this truth for 10 years, 15 years. Just because a person been in this truth for a long time, just because a person is known as an elder, a bishop, a captain, a deacon, a general, just because these people have these titles, it doesn't mean that they've been born again. Just because a person can break down the deep, dark parables, just because a person know all the prophecies, the book of Isaiah, he can break down the prophecies in the book of Daniel to the T. He can break down the book of Genesis to the T. Like, dang, this brother got some. I ain't never heard anybody break it down like that. So, and a person like that can still be not born again. So, King, did any brother have something real quick before I move on from this precept?
Yeah, brother's gonna be like, Lord, didn't I stay on Clubhouse for hours defending your doctrine? No, brother, he was defending your doctrine.
Right.
Right, man.
Then you're gonna have brothers acting like young LA talking about some ain't I defended your word, ain't I kept the commandments, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing too. I'll wait till the end to pull out any precept I got in association because I had one. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that going on because again, one thing about it, sometimes as Israelites, we get a little bit more understanding of the word, and we begin to act as if that's what changes us. But really, let me put it like this: that's what should change you. But the problem is, it's for the wrong reasons. It's for vain reasons. So that's why a lot of people will come in and say, "Lord, Lord, have I done this? Have I not done that?" Because hey, we may honor the Lord with our lips, you know what I'm saying, and honor him with our mouth, but our hearts are really far from him.
Yeah, the brother in the chat, Baruch, said that never mind. The brother Baruch said main thing they were saying was I. And that just goes to show you, man, a key indicator of to see if somebody is selfish is to see how many times they use I, to see if everything is about them. Right? A lot of these mega church pastors, they'll do whole sermons saying, I just think, I just know the Lord. I don't think that the Lord will let you. I feel, I believe. Bro, we don't want to hear what you think or believe or what you had a dream of. We want to know the word, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just like in that instance, you're gonna have a lot of people politicking, man. They're gonna be up there before the throne politicking. And the thing about it is, man, just like you go before these judges, YNs, for those to know, what a YN is, a young Negro. They appear and before the judge in court. They don't be arguing with that judge. Once that judge, it could be a white female, right? So-called white female. Once that judge give their sentence, they don't argue with nothing, man. They just sit there and take it. So what makes you think that you can politic with the Most High? He's the ultimate judge. When he give you your judgment, you ain't gonna be politicking. You gonna know what you did the crime. You gonna know. Just like you go before an actual judge, you gonna know you did the crime, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you want to be on the right side of that coin. But Khan,
yeah, man. This is a very serious, a very serious thing. I think a lot of stuff I'm gonna say in this video, I know I said in my video, are you apt to teach? Something like that, part 1, are you apt to teach? But it's like, in what people would call the Israelite community, right? You start to see a lot of people will respect you just because of your scholarship and what you know. They respect you just off that. They won't try the spirit at all. They don't care. They care less about your fruits of the spirit and what you doing and what you doing off the camera. They don't care about that. You do what you want to do. All a lot of our people care about is how much knowledge you know, how many debates you've been in. It's been times where, like, if you go to a person's channel, it's more, all you seeing is debates. You don't see no edification, glorifying the Most High. You don't see no. It's very few times you see videos on how to be meek, how to be humble, right? To give charity, give alms, look after the homeless. You more so just hearing about, oh, if you believe this, you're wicked, or I got this truth, and it's all just type of madness and folly going on because it's just a lot of people that haven't been born again. That's all it is. It's a lot of people that just haven't been born again, man. So can you give me John chapter 3 and verse 3 through 8? Because Christ don't care about how many precepts you know. He's the word. He don't care about how many precepts you know. He don't care about how many breakdowns you know. He don't care about your friend, how many times you don't roll your fringes. He don't care nothing about that, man. Right, but you got it, King.
This is John 3:3. It says, and Yahweh answered and said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God.
So the Bible say, hey, man, except the man be born again, you're not going to see the kingdom of God. It's a lot of people in this truth, or supposed to be in this truth, that has never been born again. How you know that? Because you can tell by the fruits. It's a lot of people in this truth that was in the world first. They find out about the truth. They came in. The first thing they start to focus on was the outer man. Oh, I gotta get my beard. I gotta get my fringes. But they didn't focus on the love. They wasn't hearing about the love, right? The charity, the meekness, the fruits of the spirit, right? They wasn't hearing about these things. So they came into this thing strictly focusing on the outward appearance and just the outward appearance and the outward appearance. So they was never truly born again. That's why when you see a certain individuals or brothers and sisters, children that you may see, you starting to see that they have worldly ways, like they try to bring the world into the truth. It's because of they never been truly born again. Their mind have never really been renewed. What you got, King?
Come, man, I want to say, man, hey, much like what the brother Obadiah is saying, you can come into this truth, you can learn a lot of things, man, and you can be taught a lot of things, right? But one thing about it, you can't teach spirituality, right? You can't teach compassion, right? These are stuff that a person's self has to want to obtain, right? And has to do some self-searching and breaking down of himself, right? This is the book of John right here. This is 3 and 3, right? But I want to say if we go to 3 and verse 30, I might be wrong now, but I think this is my favorite verse. Yep. If we go to verse 30 in the same chapter, what does it say? John 3 and 30, he must increase, but I must decrease, right? Anytime anybody tries to give me any praise, this is a scripture that comes within my mind, right? Way back when, when now I don't get no happy birthday wishes or anything like that. Everybody in my life pretty much know what time I'm on, right? But back when I used to get happy birthday text messages and stuff like this, I wouldn't reply anything but John 3 and 30. I don't care if you're a friend in the world, a family member, or whatever. You got a text message back of John 3 and 30, right? Because it's not about me. Nothing I do, especially for this ministry, is about me, right? And you won't necessarily know how to be spiritual until you know for a fact you can take yourself out of the equation in every aspect when it comes to this ministry. We were talking not too long ago, this truth is not supposed to be a competition. Right? We're not supposed to be competing with each other, right? If my brother knows, if my brother knows more information than me, you know what I'm saying? It's because the Most High wants him to know more information than me. If my brother has a better memory than me, it's because the Most High wants him to have a better memory than me. That has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with the Most High and his allotment, right? And what I'm happy that we have somebody in the body that is that sharp, that has a sharp memory, right? That can teach that well. I don't get jealous and envious. I don't try to compete with that brother or sister, right? I accept it. And you know what? I exalt that brother or sister, not because of that person, not because of him or her, but because of what the Most High has done in their life. I'm exalting that so it can be shown a light on, right? Because at the end of the day, John 3 and 30, he must increase, we must decrease. We are just vessels. And when you understand that, you understand as a vessel, you want to obtain the spirit, right? And the spirit is not just coming into the truth and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? I know I'm going on a tangent here, but check this out. The way you know somebody does not have the spirit is when they're bare minimalist. You come into this truth, right? And you want to do the bare minimum. There was a story, man, of brothers in the truth, and they were making every excuse to do what they want to, as long as it seemed like it was still not against the commandments, right? Vaguely, I remember a story where somebody was saying how the Sabbath ended and the only place that was close to them was Hooters or something like that, or maybe some brothers was sitting in Hooters and they was lunar Sabbath, and they was eating at Hooters while right outside of Hooters, their brothers was teaching the word or something like that, right? And one would think, well, they're not breaking no laws or commandments, right? But you could tell the spirit wasn't there, because why are you sitting in, out of all places, you sitting in Hooters while you got fellow Israelites, fellow brothers bringing out the word right across the glass from you, right? Certain things spiritually just doesn't make sense, but to the person without the spirit, it's gonna make all the sense, right? So you come in and you think the only thing that you need to do, right, is to keep the commandments. Not only just keep the commandments, you find out how to keep the commandments to the least of it all, right? There's no law about having Passover in the club, right? Passing bubbly around with bottle girls. There's no law against that. So let's do it. The spirit will let you know that's stupid, though, if you have the spirit, right? So coming into this truth, like the brother Obadiah is saying, you can't teach spirit. You can teach these law, statutes, and commandments, but these law, statutes, and commandments are supposed to lead you to have the spirit. And not everybody in this truth has the spirit. Sorry for being long with it.
Nah, you good. I think Brother Azrael has something, though.
Yeah, you can get 2 Samuel 23:2 real quick. Second Samuel 23:2. Like the brother said, he likes to go there. I like to go here a lot. I used to put this in a lot of my captions on Instagram. Whenever I got compliments, I'll put it in my caption, or I would comment back to brothers or sisters. It says 2 Samuel 23:2, the spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue, right? Just telling brothers and sisters, I'm not doing this of my own will, right? You may have thought what I said was mighty or profound. It wasn't me, right? We know that the spirit gives utterance. We know that the spirit, even in that day when we're offered up, it said that make no thought of what you should say, because the spirit's going to give us what we should say in that time. So how much more, even in times where we're not offered up, right? That's why whenever you're about to speak to somebody, or whenever you're about to give counsel or wisdom to somebody, say a little prayer that the Lord use your tongue to say the right thing, to counsel the right thing, to preach the right thing, to exhort the right thing, to warn about the right thing. Stop thinking it's all about you, because when it's all about you, yeah, you may fail a couple of times, and then you might start getting it right. And you may, you may just fool yourself into thinking, man, I'm this, I'm that. I got the best counsel. I got the 100% truth. You fool yourself. You deceive yourself. Somebody say you tell a lie enough, you start believing it. And before you know it, you don't agree with this scripture no more, because you thinking that everything that come out your tongue is of you. And you want brothers to come pay you $500 to get some counsel. And you want brothers to come and join you because you feel like you're the only one that can say it a certain way. And if somebody can't learn from you, then they can't learn from nobody. Then the list goes on, right? And that's exactly what this lesson is over with. Hey, man, just because you got the recipe, you got the scholarship, you put it together nicely, and you can make people praise you. Just because you got that gift, that don't mean that you got the spirit. That don't mean that you was born again. That don't mean that you're gonna make it. God can use you as a vessel to bring whoever he wants into the kingdom and say, hey, yeah, but you can't come in though. He can use you to do that. So just be on the lookout, man, and guard your spirit.
Hey, I want to add too, man, it's more than just knowing the Bible, dog. Like that's the thing that a lot of people in the truth, and even if you're not in the truth, even if you're somebody who's learning about who God's chosen people truly are in the earth, one thing you're going to have to know is that, like the brothers are bringing out so eloquently, it's not knowing the verses alone that's going to change your heart, that's going to change your mind. Knowing the verses is only half the battle. It's not even really half the battle, because the biggest battle is, like the brother Obadiah said, changing that spirit, man. You gotta, like, and I'm guilty as charged too, man, because I remember when I first came into the knowledge and wanted to start keeping the commandments, I was so big on making sure I had my fringes on all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, fringes on 24/7 when I first came into the knowledge. But then as time has grown, you know, and I've been able to grow in this knowledge, I realized that, yes, you're supposed to be wearing these fringes. But again, there's a spiritual aspect of it that you have to apply to. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about making sure the fringes is on, but I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, disrespecting everybody, acting prideful, acting like, you know what I'm saying, I'm bigger than the set. It's really about, you know, you wearing them, your brother, being peaceful, being gentle, being meek, being humble. You know, we got too many people that's trying to act like, you know, they made this thing. And some of the foolish things I hear sometimes is when brothers say that, oh, you wouldn't be in the truth if it wasn't for so and so and so and so doing what they did. And that's one of the things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way too, is because it's not of man while we're, I guess you could say, understanding the knowledge of who we are as a people. It's because the Spirit of the Lord came and rested upon us, and it reasoned with us, you know, and it helped us to understand and see the truth, right? Not because of a mortal man. So that's why, again, to the topic of the lesson, there's going to be so many people that realize they ain't going to be able to enter into the kingdom because there's so many things according to the Spirit that they truly miss, you know, and that's to their own destruction. But kind of you.
Yeah. It's a lot of things that a lot of people miss, man. Because they think they look at it as little. As long as I'm doing the works, I'm cool. You know, as long as I'm doing this, I'm cool. They miss, it's a lot of things that a lot of people missing, especially when they come into this truth and they in an organization or a camp, right? They come into this thing and they starting to follow man. Just say it's set up. Cause I know how it was, how a lot of us when we first came in, you know, we you may tend to watch a group of brothers a lot, and you starting to say, dang, that brother got a lot of knowledge. That brother gotta be sent by the Most High. Dang, so and so break it down mighty. He cut that. He brought out this. He brought out that. He brought out that. He cut up the heathen. So then you starting to talk like that brother. Right, you starting to move like that, brother. You start fanning out, trying to become a fan. And it's like when you come in this thing, a lot of people start to, what I'm trying to say, they come into this thing, they be around a whole bunch of people, and they're not really reading for themselves. Right, that's what I'm looking for. A lot of people in this truth aren't really reading for themselves. They're going off what their teacher telling them, instead of actually going back and, okay, he told me this, let me go back and read and see if this in the Bible. They don't read for themselves. But your teacher is not going to get you into the kingdom of heaven. You can't say in that day, well, my teacher taught me this. I thought it was okay. No, the Lord ain't hearing that. The Lord said in Revelations 1:3, blessed is he that readeth. It's a lot of people that don't read, like the brother Brute said. And the sister brought, we can get no scriptures too. But the brother said, like a parrot. It's a lot of people that's parrots in this truth. They don't have their own personality. They come into this truth and starting to mimic another brother or another sister. And you can't be like that, man. Right? You can't be like this. You can't be like that, man. So I get them precepts in a minute. Can you go back to John 3:3? It's a lot of stuff going on, like, you know, oh, my teacher said this. Oh, I got the best teacher, right? I got the best captain. I got the best bishop. Man, the Lord don't care nothing about those things, man. Like, the Lord don't care nothing about camps. You have, you know, this camp over here, this camp over here, this camp over here. They feel like they're the best. This camp over here feel like they got the most knowledge. This camp feel like this camp over here feel like they the best when it comes to scholarship. At the end of the day, that's all vain. It don't matter. The Lord ain't gonna be like, oh, you with so and so camp, you come in here. Oh, you with this camp, you can't get in. No, the Lord finna he gonna judge everybody one by one. You're gonna be judged by yourself. You're not gonna be judged with your camp leader. You ain't gonna be judged with your camp. You ain't gonna be judged with your organization. You gonna be judged by yourself. What did you do? But you got it, King.
Yeah, man, I was gonna say, you know, another thing too that goes along with that is a lot of brothers, like you said, they think that their organization is going to save them. Well, I was a part of this. Well, we do this at my congregation, so I know we're gonna make it. You know, and you know, a lot of people, they feel like, oh, I'm baptized, so I'm gonna make it. Well, we have the best Passovers every year, so I know we gonna make it. The Most High, he looking down, he happy about that. But the thing about it is, you know, that's not the case, like the brother's saying. Also, a lot of it gets disguised by secret meekness, right? Or deceptive meekness. You might get brothers to come in your DMs, sisters to come in your DMs. Share this to reach the sheep. We need to reach the sheep. Can you share this for me? Knowing good and well, they're not trying to reach the sheep. They're trying to get more notoriety. They're trying to get more fame. They're trying to get more followers, some more likes. The way I look at it is this: you don't have to promote yourself. If the Most High wants you to blow up, trust and believe he will have the right people come to your page and you will blow up. If the Most High wants you to stay small, he'll keep you small, right? So there's no need to blast people's direct messages and text message people, try to promote yourself, because the Most High, he's going to do what he want to do, right? And it's nothing that you can do to alter his plan. So what I'm saying is, don't be deceived, and don't deceive yourself into thinking that you're meek or you're doing a good deed, when Ecclesiastes tells us all is vanity, right?
Right.
Ecclesiastes tells us all is vanity, right? Even when you do something good, 9 times out of 10, you're doing it because it makes you feel good, right? So you got to question and examine yourself while you're doing everything that you do.
Hey, and I want to add too, that's just like going to your point, when people sit up here and they make music in the truth, and then they say, hey, if we get 1,000 comments, I'll drop this truth music. You know what I'm saying? We get a 1,000 followers in the next week, I'll drop this truth album. You know, hey, look, if you making this music for the Most High God, like the brother just said, that's another thing too. We got to get out of that following what the celebrities do spirit. If you making this music for the Most High, like the brother said, he'll bring the traffic to your channel. If it's meant for that word to go forth and be broad, trust and believe that the word will go forth and be broad. But if it's not meant for it, then it's not meant for it. But you shouldn't be sitting up here, like the brother saying, capitalizing on people's ignorance, you know, capitalizing on people's innocence, you know, trying to profit off people's lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, you know, especially when we have new people in the truth. We have a lot of people trying to take advantage of those people. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to, again, that's something that comes with the spirit. It's humility, you know, meekness. You got to be meek in this thing, because if you're not truly humble, the Lord will humble you, you know. At the end of the day, it's not about the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the toughest, man. All it's about is just doing the work of the Lord and being pleased. It's too many times we see in this truth, man wants to give themselves a pat on the back for the work that the Lord had them to do on his behalf. And we got to get out of that spirit, you know, that let me not have a moment of meekness spirit. Like, let me go ahead and puff myself up because I did a lot of work that other brothers didn't do spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to learn how to truly be humble, walk in the fruits of the spirit, because that's why a lot of people haven't been born again, is because you come into this knowledge, you get a lot of understanding, you start going to teach, or you start getting a platform, and now all of a sudden you start destroying yourself, because now you're doing it for the clout that you get, not necessarily the spirit that the spirit that's behind it. Pecan.
Man. Hey, I want to say something real quick too. Look, man. You can quickly tell who puts their trust in God versus who puts their trust in men, right? If every single time you do something, man, for this truth, and you post it or you upload it publicly or whatever, whether that be music, whether that be a debate, whether that be just a regular video or whatever, and you truly are upset from the lack of support you get from man, right? That's a telltale sign that you're doing this all for the wrong reason, right? It's a telltale sign that you're putting your trust in man to support you versus the Most High to support you. Just like both the brothers just said, you know, if the Most High wants to bring attention or awareness to whatever you're posting, he can do that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take and so if he doesn't do that, understand that, hey, buddy, it just wasn't it. He didn't want people to pay attention to what you just posted or what you uploaded. It's okay, right?
Or he could have only wanted 1 or 2 people.
Right. That's what
maybe,
that's why when we do these things, man, we don't care how many people's on this thing. We're not saying I'm gonna wait till some more people get in the chat. We're not saying that. Whether it's 5 people showing, whether that number at the top says 0 people watching, right? We're gonna do what was called of us, not because we want to be seen of men, because we're being obedient to the Most High and doing the work of the Lord, right? Even if it says 1 or 2 people that saw this video, apparently it was meant for that 1 or 2 people, right?
Yeah, some people will deceive.
You kind of gotta trust in that.
Some people will deceive you once again, that meekness deception, and they'll make up reasons to do it, right? Y'all know how the algorithm is. Go ahead and hit the like button. We got 3,000 people watching. How come we only got 200 likes? Go ahead and hit that. It helps the algorithm, y'all, so the sheep can come on in, right? That's a deceptive way of saying, hey, we want the statistics, we want the numbers, right? We want the numbers, right? And that's the thing, man. We got to do this with or without numbers. You're supposed to do this without people watching, with people watching. That way, if the Most High does see fit to give you an increase, you're used to just dealing with the small sheep, right? When David got to be a king, he was already diligent working with the animals. He knows what it took to lead the animals. So when the Most High felt it was right for him to be elevated, he had what it took because he was humble and meek for a season, right? You got to, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is just a message, man. Your scholarship, just because it doesn't, hey, look, man, a lot of people were in this to get the most out of this present life. We want the notoriety in this life. We want the fame in this life. We want the popularity. We want the respect from men. What you should be trying to get is the respect from the Most High God. That's what you should be trying to get. Stop waiting for men to give you respect, right? Because it's going to lead you astray. You're going to be chasing something that you shouldn't be chasing.
Hey, and there's one last thing I want to add too, King. Just like the brother said, people chase respect from men. These brothers out here are desiring to be respected amongst their peers, right? And there's also that side of people who want the respect amongst their peers that are not the leaders of the camp. You know what I'm saying? Or no, let me rephrase that. There's people that respect these leaders of these camps and congregations and organizations. They just respect them so much to the point that when whoever it is that you respect so much starts to fall into mischief and folly, it starts to cause you to fall away from the knowledge of the truth because you thought too highly of a mortal man, And that's another thing that has to be corrected too. When you're born again in this truth, you're not finna be sitting up here following after man, because at the end of the day, you know that it's the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing, right? So we can't be sitting up here coming into this knowledge, being young and thinking that, well, because we don't know a lot, we just got to submit ourselves to every man that teaches the Bible better than I can understand it at this point in my life. We got to have some sense of pride in yourself, have some sense of understanding that you got to try every spirit, because we've seen brothers that come in this truth subjugate themselves to men, and when these men start going out, brothers start falling out the truth, or brothers start acting all manner of, I guess you could say, upset and anger, showing all these different emotions, all because of who they subjugated themselves under, and that's what we have to change. Another thing we have to change is how we communicate with one another, regardless of which camp or which body that you in. Like the brothers were saying earlier, the Lord, I ain't gonna say the Lord not dealing with camps, because there was camps in the scriptures, but at the end of the day, we are one nation of people. The Lord is reconciling the nation. So it's not camp specific, which means that another thing that I hate too is when we hear stories like brothers leaving camps, and then once they leave that camp puts out a no contact order on these people. That's not of the spirit either. You can't talk to a brother just because he sees the Bible a little bit differently than you. And if that's the case, then that means that you're trying to say that whatever your camp teaches or subscribes to, you believe it's the 100% truth. Because other than that, it's no way for you to have that type of rule in place to discontinue communicating and fellowshipping and checking on brothers just because they leave your organization for whatever reason. And that's another thing. Again, that's why a lot of people are not truly going to make it, because one, people are followers of man too much. People want the respect of man too much. And not only that, we disrespect our brothers by just doing the simple things of not wanting to communicate with them, regardless if they agree or disagree with us or not. But I yield.
And Salaki, man. Brothers touching on some mighty points, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna come back to this scripture. Can brothers give me Romans 9:27? It's something that came to my mind. Like I wasn't gonna speak on it, man, but it need to be said. It need to be said, man. So yeah, Romans 9:27, King. Brothers making some good points. I'm like, man, especially what the brother Isaiah just said, it made me think about this. Made me think about this scripture, Romans 9:27.
Romans 9:27 says, Isaiah also cried concerning Israel. Though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved.
So the Bible is saying only a remnant, it's not a lot of people, man. And when you go to Zechariah 13:8, it says 2/3 of the Israelites are going to be cut off. It's going to be a lot of our people cut off. Everybody is not going to make it that's in the truth right now. I think some people think, or a lot of people think, just because they're in the truth right now, they're making it. No, you don't have a seat in the kingdom right now. You know how many people, and I know me and the brothers were talking about this a while back, man. Like it's only a remnant gonna be making it. Like you know how many people right now. Just think about how many people right now, right? These off the top of my head of people that just bearing false witness or just doing false judgment. And what I mean by that is you have some people that say, "Oh, okay, a woman." See, like the brother said, understanding may be different. A person may disagree with your doctrine. That don't mean that they're wicked because they disagree with your doctrine. Like, just say I done heard this plenty of times. I done heard this more than one time. A sister that's in this truth, right? A sister that's in this truth, she can be keeping the Sabbath day, right? She can be keeping the high holy days, right? She can be giving charity, giving alms, checking up on sisters, sewing, being a submissive wife to her husband, but she got pants on. And you have someone be like, she must be wicked. She got pants on. You have people say that they don't even know the person, but yet they saying, that person's wicked because she has pants on. So that's like false, that's like false, in a sense, false judgment. You don't know that person. You never talked to that person in your life, but yet you're going around and saying that person is wicked because they have pants on, right? And it's a lot of people that's doing that. And it's also, just think about how many people right now in the truth that's not keeping the Shabbat. It's a lot of people in the truth that's not keeping the Shabbat holy. So that's a lot of people right now that's, you know what I'm saying? So that's why the Bible said it's only a remnant, only a few people that's really in this thing. You have a lot of people that's doing things behind closed doors, right? You got a lot of people that doing things behind closed doors. That it may be your favorite leader, your favorite captain, somebody that you may look up to, your favorite sister in this truth. They may be doing all type of stuff behind closed doors, and you might not even know. Right. But it's only a few people that's really dedicating themselves. Only a few people in it, out of all these people that's in the truth right now, that's saying the Israelites. Only a remnant of these people in this truth that's really taking this thing seriously and that's really been born again. But any brother had something?
No, I'm just a mighty point, man. You gotta wake up. Everybody, I mean, and people say this all the time, but everybody you see in fringes, man, ain't necessarily gonna make it, man. I don't know if the brother got the precept, so I won't recite it, but just you good. I was just gonna paraphrase where it says that not all of them are Israel that are of Israel, right? And you know, a lot of brothers have been teaching that as saying, "Oh, it's talking about King Herod. It's talking about the heathen that's among us." You know, when you read that in context, man, they say what it say, man. It's talking about not everybody that is an Israelite is a true Israelite indeed, right? Not everybody that's an Israelite it has holds that power, the prince with the power. You know what I'm saying? And like the brother was saying, man, I just want to reiterate and reemphasize. There's a lot of people in this truth, man, that you look at maybe even on a day-to-day basis. They may talk the most on social media, right? I'm on Facebook, and you know, there's a plethora of people that just talk every single day on social media about, you know, something about in this truth, right? Somebody you may see every single day got spider webs in their closet and they active with it, right? There's people right now in this truth, man, and you know what's crazy, man? We did a video not too long ago, but you can tell when somebody needs to work on themselves. You can tell when somebody is struggling to keep the spirit, because the spirit can come and it can go, right? I'm not even saying that the person has not had the spirit, whether it be a male or a female, but they might have a problem keeping the spirit within them. You can, it's a telltale sign when it's hard for them to make the right decisions. When it's hard, when doing right is if you in the truth and you can't say doing right is easy, bro, you got some work to do. And we did a video on this. If you can't say, man, doing the right thing is easy, you got some work to do. That lets me know that the spirit doesn't really operate with you 24/7. If it's hard to fight against the I'm talking about just stuff that you shouldn't even be able to think of. You know, brothers talk, right? Brothers talk. And we give up scenarios and stuff like that, and you might ask a brother some folly, a madness scenario, and the brother taking too long to think about it. You know what I'm saying? The brother taking too long to think about it. Hey, that lets me know, bro. You probably got to get back in your bank, man. You know what I'm saying? You taking too long to answer that question. You know what I'm saying? It should be a no-brainer. If it's not easy for you to do the right thing, and you're in this truth, you for a fact should know that you haven't been all the way born again. Because when you born again, you're a new creature, you're a new man. You don't walk the same, you don't talk the same, you don't think the same, you don't make the same decisions, right? And if you ain't on that type, if you still moving the same way you was before you came into the knowledge of the truth, right? If you still struggle with driving by that one spot you know you ain't supposed to drive by, right? You still tapping into you know, old things you used to do behind the scenes and stuff like that, texting the old numbers that you ain't supposed to be texting, right? Going visiting some friends or whatever back, you know what I'm saying? You if you still battling with that stuff, it's a telltale sign that you probably haven't been born again, right? And you've been lying to yourself. If that's you, I encourage you to start working on yourself today and start casting those demons down and start being okay with being nobody. It starts right there. Being okay with being nobody. That's the only way the Most High can really use you. When he understands that you're okay with not getting no notoriety, that's when he's going to start using you. When you're always worried about what somebody thinks, right, of you or what you present, right, the Most High is not going to use you, because he knows once you get that once you get that attention, it's not going to be for him, because you're always thinking about you, how you said this, how you presented this. A lot of time, you know, I've been guilty. I used to, you know, when I first came into the truth, I used to over-examine my videos. I used to over-examine what I put out and stuff like that. But now I'm at a point in my life where it's like, man, I'm a vessel being used. Whatever I said was said, right? I don't need to look back at it. Put it out there, right? I'm at a point now where what was done, it was done. What was said. And I'm okay with that being released, because I know I'm operating in a meek spirit that's not about myself. There was a time where I used to look at my videos. If I didn't like the way I look, hey, I ain't uploading it, right? Even if I was saying something good, I ain't uploading it. I ain't like that no more. At least when it comes to the truth. Now my personal Instagram, you know, I'm a hey, if I looking crazy, I ain't gonna upload it. But if it's for this ministry, I don't care how I look when I said it. I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to be able to get to that John 3:30, that he must increase, I must decrease. Man, that word that he spoke through me was so good, but I look ugly as crap. I don't care though. Put it out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers can't get to that point. A lot of brothers, as soon as you see them, and I see this all the time on Facebook, they on live. As soon as they hit the live button, they hit the live button, and then they pretend like they didn't hit the live button. They kind of just looking at the camera like, is this on? Is this on? Bro, you not an old man. You're 31, you're 25. You understand how technology, when you hit, but when that thing start flashing red, you know you on, right? So they be looking at like, is this on? And then okay, it's on. And then they sit back, they kind of get their hat down, you know what I'm saying? You kind of like untuck their chain a little bit, make sure it's like it's sitting nice. Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Is my chain shining? Y'all come on in. We're going to wait till a few more people. Y'all like and share. Bro, this ain't about us. 9 times out of 10, when I put a hat on, it's because I ain't got no haircut. You know what I'm saying? I just want to throw something on. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, this is not about us. Stop making it about us. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I was gonna say, man, Salaki, not Salaki, but I was gonna say, like the brother was saying, man, like the other day, y'all probably noticed, man, my barber kind of messed my hairline up. You know, it was crooked. You know, it was kind of crazy, but I was like, man, I don't care about that though. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna come over here and you're gonna see my hairline. I don't care if you say it's crooked or not, because I ain't doing it. I'm doing it for the Most High. So that's how, like the brother said, man, that's how we got to be in this thing, man. You make a video or you doing something for the Most High, be sincere. You have some people that may not get the most, they might not get the likes they want or the views they want on a video, and they delete it. Like, what are you doing? They delete the video.
So, Laki, you know, I gotta
let me re-upload that. Maybe I'll get some more likes if I re-upload it.
Maybe they didn't see. Maybe they all asleep right now. Let me upload that at earlier time.
Yeah, you know, and then you looking like, didn't I just like this pic? I just like this video. Why I say I didn't like it? But hey, I had a rude awakening like that when I first came into truth. When I first came into truth, I was very fiery, zealous. I'd like to say I still kind of am, but not as much as when I first came into truth. And it was a sister she was making her way into the truth. I don't think she's in the truth anymore. But me and her used to chop it up from time to time and argue a lot through the DMs and through comments. And never met this sister in person, man. But I remember she was doing something on her story, and I was getting on her pretty bad, right? But at this point, we had kind of built a social media relationship where we could not condemn each other, but we can rebuke each other, right? And so, like, even though I was an Israelite, man, I was still getting rebuked by Christians in the world, right? For a minute, you know what I'm saying? And I liked it because I was like, you know what, y'all gonna teach me how to be blameless. So I accepted it. But I say all that to say, man, there was one video I did, and she was like, you got a lot to say, because you over here talking about, because brothers and sisters, you know, we used to be big on that sisters, you know, don't get your hair braided, stop trying to look all cute type of thing. What is that, 1 Timothy or 2 Timothy or something?
1 Timothy 2:9.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Until we got the understanding of what it really was trying to portray, right? But you know, I was new in the truth, so I was heavy, man. I seen some. If I saw you and you know you was flexing your new hair or whatever, I was in them DMs sending you scripture. I was that Israelite. And she was like, you got a lot to say. I saw your last video. And so it just happened that the lighting was perfect and you kept licking your lips and blah, 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 XYZ. Well, I was cut to the heart. Well, I was like, okay. And shortly after that, I went on a Nazarite vow, man. And after that, it fixed the problem because that Nazarite vow had the boy looking crazy. And so, you know, I didn't have no haircut, none of that. I was just man. I was just doing videos, right? Because I was like, hey, I needed that dope. because it helped me to be blameless. It helped me to understand there's people that's paying attention to that stuff, right? So you might have a big boil on your face, and you like, man, this zit's so big, but the Most High gave me this word, and He want me to say it right now. Go ahead and say it right now. That's happening to me. If I can go back and I can show you a video on my Instagram with a big boil on my face, right? But I didn't care because somebody may have needed it. It may not be for the thousands. It may not be for the hundreds. But every now and then, the Most High God will send you somebody to give you confirmation, and they'll be like, hey, King, just want to let you know I sat down and watched that video. It really helped me out. Hey, sis, I just want to let you know that video really taught me a lot, right? I needed that, right? And you could have thought, man, you could have been looking at your views and your likes and like, they only got 3 likes, only 15 views. But that confirmation lets you know we do it for the 1, not the 99. Right. And as long as that 1 happened, you know what I'm saying? That's all we can ask for.
You get more recognition too, and it's more mightier when you do stuff like that. Like the brother Obadiah was saying, like with his crooked hairline, you get more of a notoriety and a sense of might when somebody can say, dang, he did that video when his hairline was crooked. He did that video with a crooked hairline, or like the brother was saying, or dang, he did that video with a big zit on his face, right? It's even mightier when you add all that stuff in. It's more mightier than saying, oh, he did that and he had 2 gold Cuban link chains around his neck, right? We're not Floyd Mayweather, man. We don't do this to show how much money we got. We do this to show how meek we can be and how much we're nothing, right? But the word that we have is it's everything, right? But
Con, man. Con. Because can the brother go back to John chapter 3 and verse 3?
Con.
Yeah, man. Must be born again. That's what Christ was saying. You must be born again.
Con, John 3 and 3, again, it says, Jesus answered and said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God.
Mm-hmm. You can read on. You can go on, King. Go to verse 8.
Verse 4 says, Nicodemus saith unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5, it says, Yahweh shall answer, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Verse number 6, it says, that which is born of the flesh is the flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is the Spirit. Verse number 7, it says, marvel not that I say unto thee, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh and whither it goeth. So is every one that is born of the Spirit.
Con, King. So the mighty point he said was, you must be born by the Spirit and water. So can you go to Ephesians 5 and 26 to 27? We must, like, being born again, like the brother was saying in the beginning of the video, being born again is not you receiving, like, we're not saying nothing wrong with biblical scholarship either, because we know that it's important to have scholar. You know, the Bible says study show thyself approved. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with, with studying and getting wisdom, but that alone doesn't make you born again. You have to be born. Matter of fact, you got it, King. 5 and 26 to 27.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 26, talking about that water, it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
Mm-hmm. You get 27.
And 27, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish.
So you have to be renewed, washed by this word, and this word teach you how to live, man. Right? This word teach you how to live, and I think a lot of people, they start to learn the commandments, and they keep like the commandments of the outer appearance, but they not really washed. They haven't really read like the fruits of the spirit. Like they haven't really renewed their minds and really just really let the word wash them. They haven't fully been washed. They may have been sprinkled a little bit by the water. They might have the water. You know how to be sprinkling outside. People that some people in this truth been sprinkled by the water, but they haven't been truly just water. Like how it be outside, it's raining real hard. They haven't been hit like that, man. So we want to make sure when in this word that we renew in all aspects, right? Put on that whole armor, like Paul said, and make sure that in all aspects that we renew and we wash by the water, by the word, and everything, in anger, overcoming anger, overcoming lust, overcoming covetousness, overcoming hate. Those are things that people tend to forget about and that they don't really want to deal with. And that's part of being washed by the word. Because the Bible teach you how to live. Those other things are fleshly. Those are fleshly desires in the flesh. When you're depressed or when you're angry, when you spirit of anxiety come on you, those are not spirits like those, that's not of the Most High, man. That's Satan. So that's why we have to come in this thing and really renew our minds in this thing. So King, can you give me Joel chapter 2 and verse 12 through 14?
Chapter 2.
If I would have knew, and now brothers probably can also agree, when you first come into this, the knowledge of the truth, man, a lot of times you don't really hear about getting your inner man right. I know I didn't. When I first came into the truth, it was strictly, hey, you need to hurry up and get you some fringes. Right? You need to hurry, that's the first thing. You need to hurry. It's nothing, we know there's nothing wrong with fringes. We know that's part of the commandments, but why not? If you're talking to a person that's this their first time hearing this knowledge, this their first time hearing about the truth, we gotta start telling them, hey, bro, you need to get your inner man right, man. Right? You gotta get that, if you got hate in your heart, you gotta get that hate out your heart, man. Right? You gotta love your people, right? Hey, man, you gotta forgive, brother. You can't hold no grudges. We gotta start letting our people know these things off the jump, like we do with they need to get, like we tell them you need to get fringes. We need to start telling them off the jump, first get your inner man right. Cause there ain't no point of telling them, hey, you get you some fringes, and they ain't renewed, they mind ain't renewed. They're just gonna be wicked with fringes on. You know what I'm saying? So just focus on that, getting your mind right and get your spirit right first, and your outer man is gonna come. It's gonna come. Your inner man clean is gonna reflect from your eye. It's gonna show. But can you get it?
Come on, man. You said 2 and 12.
Joel chapter 2 and verse 12 through 14. Yeah,
I'll read it. Joel chapter 2 verses 12 through verse 14. Therefore also now saith the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart.
Slocky King. Can you look at that word rend? He said, and rend your heart and not your garments, and turn to the Lord your God. So what he's saying, rend your hearts, and not your garments.
Rend, to tear something into two or more pieces.
Was there another definition on that? Another one at the
This is on Bing, so you might be looking on Google.
Oh yeah, on Bing.
Bing it.
Yeah, man. Oh, I said the same.
Yeah.
It was another definition I had seen when I was looking at it. Wait. Oh no, what's that? Hold up. Go to the yeah, see what it say biblical. Is that the one else? Kanye, you can read the top, King.
In the Bible, rend primarily means to tear or rip, and it can refer to the physical act of tearing clothing, which served as an outward sign of intense grief, sorrow, or shock. The term can also be used figuratively, as in the prophetic call to rend your hearts, to signify deep inward repentance and a broken spirit before God, rather than a superficial outward display of mourning.
So the Most High saying, man, I don't want to, and this is why, when Yahweh Shah was on the scene, he like, man, don't do it. Some people do when they fasting. They make it known that they fasting. They want people to know that they fasting. Hey, Yahweh saying basically, hey man, do it do it sincerely. Not he made a distinction between the outer man and the inward man. He said not the garments, man. So do it sincerely from your heart, man. When you sorrow and grieving, be sincere with it, man. But a lot of people just they wanna come off as being a mighty person instead of actually they want to come off as being as a mighty person instead of really just getting themselves right in the inner side. A lot of people ain't gonna tell you that they're struggling with stuff. A lot of people want you to think that they're just this mighty brother in this truth when they just don't know. They just don't go through nothing. Every time you see them, it's like they never go through nothing. So it's like a lot of people try to hide these things. But the Most High, he's saying, hey, man, be real. You can't fool the Most High. You can't fool the Most High. He know what you battling with. You can hide. You can fool man. But you can't fool the Most High God, man. He see what you doing. He see what you struggling with. And he see that you try to come off as being a mighty person in this thing, man. But the Bible, just because you may appear, on the outward appearance as a holy person, it doesn't mean you are. It doesn't mean that you're born again. Hey, it's some people in this truth right now that they may not know all the deep dark parables, but they born again though. Why? Because they inner man, they got the love, they got the charity, they got the forgiveness, they got the compassion, they got the faith. They born again, man, and they may only know Deuteronomy 28, right? They may only know they may know John 3:16. But yeah, they got all the way they doing. They got the weightier matters and the fruits of the spirit down pat. So that's how we should want to be in this thing, man. Making sure that that we've been born again. So can you give me the book of Romans chapter 12 verse 2? We got to renew our minds, man. Biblical scholarship doesn't make you born again, and it don't impress the Most High. But you got it, King.
Romans 12:2, it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God."
Right. So don't be conformed to the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to renew your mind in this truth, man. You can't have that same mindset you had in the world and try to bring it in the truth. You gotta renew your mind, man. You may enjoy being in the club in the world, you got to renew your mind. You can't enjoy going to the club. You used to enjoy chilling with old friends in the world. You can't enjoy chilling with those old friends all day, like and you in the truth, because it's gonna lead you to they smoking weed every day. They don't work. They scamming, and you trying to chill with them while you in the truth. You gonna go back into the world. You have to literally renew your mind. You gotta if you had hate in your heart, or you was in a gang in the world, you can't bring that mindset in the truth. Now you got an evil eye towards your brother in a different camp. Now you camp banging. You have to literally renew your mind. It's so many times just being in this truth. You may come across a video and you seeing like, dang, like people miss the world, but they don't want to go back into the world, so they try to bring the world into the truth. You can't do that. You can't bring the world into the truth. You have to renew your mind. You can't think the same way as Tay-Tay and Ray Ray. You can't think the same as Rayonica. You can't think the same as them like you used to. You a new person. That's part of being born again. Renewing your mindset. And how you used to, even it could be how you used to talk. You may used to talk crazy in the world. You used to cuss like a sailor. Everything you said in the world, it was a cuss word. And you come into the truth, you gotta renew that. Even though we know cussing it's not a sin, but you gotta renewing your mind. It comes to the point of where I know people around me, they may think it like the people that be around me, that I may come across older people. I got respect for the elders, and I know that some people don't like cussing, right? Some people might think it's a sin, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it as much, or I'm gonna stop doing it. That's part of renewing your mind. You have to start. It's a lot of grown babies in the truth, for real. It's a lot of grown babies in the truth. They grown people. They so-called in the truth, but they haven't been born again. It's a lot of people that's been in this truth for 20 years that may be teaching, but they still need the milk. They want to act like they don't need the milk no more because they've been in the truth for a little minute, or they 40 years old or 50 years old, and they feel like they're too old. They don't need to know about that Deuteronomy 28. They act like they don't need the milk no more, man. It's a lot of grown babies in the truth because they haven't renewed their mind. They haven't fully repented. They haven't been born again. They still doing the things that they used to in the world, acting the same way. You know what I'm saying? Acting like I don't. You may have some women in this thing. I ain't treating their husband like they used to treat Day in the world. They cussing their husband out. They squaring up with their husband. What you said, nigga? What you say? I'm home now. They throw the gloves in his face. Put the gloves on. No, put the gloves on. It's in the truth. Like you can't do that. You used to do that in the world. You can't bring that in the truth if you're trying to fight your husband. And men, you can't be in this thing. You used to pimp women out in the world. Now you been in this truth, and you trying to pimp women out, and you saying, well, it ain't no law it ain't no law, it ain't no sin. You gotta stop doing that, man. It's a lot of relationships it's a lot of marriages being broke up. It's a lot of friendships that have been broke up, right? Because of brothers and sisters saying, well, it ain't in the law, so I'm good. So it gives people right to disrespect someone or call someone out their name because they ain't in the law. But that's part of it. It don't have to be in the law because it's part of you renewing your mind. It's certain things that you don't do because your mind renewed. It's certain things you don't say and act upon because your mind is renewed. You've been born again. You don't say like the brother Yeshaya said, a lot of bad counseling going out, right? It's a lot of bad counseling going out because the people that's giving the counsel, they haven't been born again, right? They haven't been born again. They haven't been held accountable. You know, it's a lot of respected persons in this thing. Oh, okay, this person, oh, you can't correct this person because they've been in the truth a long time, or they got rank. The Lord don't care nothing about rank. The Lord don't care nothing about you trying to be a yes man so you can go up on the rankings and become a captain. The Lord don't care nothing about that, man. The Lord don't care nothing about, oh I'm a bishop, or I'm a deacon of my camp. I've been in this thing for 40 years. The Lord don't. You can go back. The Lord can put you back in the world and raise a rock up in your place. You know, it don't mean nothing, man. So it's a lot of bad counseling going on. It's a lot of bad counseling going on. It's a lot of respected persons going on, right? It's a lot of lack of honesty going on, because a lot of people in this truth have not been born again, and we seeing it in what we call the Israelite community. We see a lot of this stuff going on, man. We see a lot of things where you will look back and you'll just look at, or you wouldn't even just click on it. You would just see the title of the video and you'll see the thumbnail, and you'd be like, come on, man. Come on, man. A lot of stuff that's going on, you're like, come on, man. Because it's just a lot of the Israelite community is just a lot of people that haven't been born again, and you can see by the actions of how the things that they do, they just haven't been born again. Yes, the brother said the law don't say don't smoke crack. Doesn't mean we can do it. The law don't say nowhere in the Bible don't smoke crack, and a person can use that. Well, brother, the Bible, the law don't say the law don't say I can't smoke crack. So show me the law where it say I can't smoke crack. But if you're a new creature and you renewed your mind, you wouldn't want to smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to do these things. Any brother have something real quick? Can you get Deuteronomy 10:16, King?
You said 10 and 16.
Yeah, man. Like the brother Yeshaya said, man, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. People just telling you how they going off emotion. They're just telling you how they feel. Like the brother was saying in the beginning. I think you should do this. I believe you should do this. If it ain't no law, hey, do whatever you want to do. You ain't in sin. But that broke up a lot of marriages, because brothers may be doing some things, or sisters may be doing some things, and they like, shit. I mean, a sister may have cussed her sister out. A sister may have a friendship with a sister, and she cussed her out. And the sister like, I didn't like how you talked to me. I felt disrespected. You just cussed me out. You called me on my name. Then the sister be like, well, there ain't no sin. I mean, it ain't no sin nowhere. I didn't sin, so you need to get over it. So it's like, come on, man. Renew your mind, man. But you got it, King.
Verse 16 says, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked.
Right, the Bible says, circumcise the foreskin of your heart, which is your mind, and be no more stiff-necked. So, Paul didn't make this up. He got this from the Bible when it was saying circumcise your heart. Your heart, your mind must be circumcised. You're not going to get the kingdom of heaven just by your works and just by the knowledge you know. It's not happening. It's not happening. You have to really renew yourself, and it takes a lot of people don't really want to renew their minds because it takes time. A lot of people don't want to circumcise their heart because it takes some work. People don't want to put the work in. They want to be comfortable. They just want to be on a video all day, and they want to make a video. They want to make videos all day, right? It's like, man, it's a lot of, you can make videos all day. You can go out and teach all day. But if you don't have a relationship with the Most High, it don't matter. It's a lot of people that don't have a relationship with the Most High, but they do the work. It's like the brother Tell You Howard, he said in one of his songs, you got people that go and street teach, but they ain't got no souls under their belt. They ain't got no soul under their belt. They just going out there street teaching without no mercy, and they don't have no mercy within them, no compassion, no forgiveness, no patience. Brother, a lot of people just go out and teach with none of those things, and they just going out for show, for views, for likes, to come across as a mighty person. And the Lord see those things, man. We can't move like that in this thing. And it shows we had a conversation. I was talking to the brothers, man, last Sabbath at VSU. As the brother came up, he was on that, he believed in the Trinity and things like that. And he was going hard for it. He was going hard for the Trinity. And I was telling brother, I was like, man, this what determines if you're a good teacher or not. And the brother, and the brother wasn't well studied, in the Bible. So he was saying what he seen on YouTube. He was just saying with the doctrine that he been seeing some Christian apologists saying. So when he came up, he kept saying the same thing, right? The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, they are one. Brothers bring the scriptures out, right? Their brothers bring scriptures out he never heard before. He had write it down in his notebook. But he kept vouching, he kept saying the same thing over and over again. And brothers was dealing with him. And I'm like, man, this what shows if you're a good teacher or not. Being patient. Cause I told brother, man, I told brother, I'm like, man, I'm glad he didn't, he was talking to us, because certain brothers would have told that brother, get go, man, the hell with you, man. You ain't listening, man. Breathe is like, what I'm saying. So a lot of brothers would have lost their patience with him. And and it would have got, it would have took a left. But when you had that mercy, when you had that compassion, when you had that patience with our people, it's like I think the brother Denal, the brother Azrael was saying, man, I think they were saying how when you talking to somebody, it's okay, to they leave and think they won. You bring the scriptures out, you showing them that they wrong. And you show them and they may leave talking to you and think they won. Oh yeah, I done did that. But it's like they can think that, right? I don't have to tell them that they dumb or tell them that they slow, you know what I'm saying, to get my point across. We can have a conversation like men, and we can go about it like that. So it's just like, I like, man, brothers handle that thing well, man. Like, man, that's what determines if you're a good teacher, man. Anybody can go and talk to somebody that's listening to them, that's just willing to a person that's really listening and agreeing what they're saying. But the problem or the test come in when you have a person that's stubborn, that's got their mind made up, that don't want to agree with your doctrine and trying to come against it. Now you got to be patient. Now you got to be slow to anger. Now you got to let them speak. Even if they saying some crazy stuff, let them get their point across and hear them out the whole matter, so you know what angles to come at against what they saying. So, yeah, man, circumcise the foreskin. I got a couple more. Can I get Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 22?
Mm.
23. Dang, I did not know I was on here that long. That we was on here that long.
Through the Spirit, Ephesians 4 and 22 says that he put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Mm-hmm. So saying the same thing. Put off the old man. Put off the old conversation that you used to have, man. You know, put off the old man. You man used to look at, you know, you man used to be that guy in the world. Used to get attention from a lot of women. You know, used to be that person that women used to walk by you looking at their figure. Like, dang, she got looking at the figure. And it's like, man, we gotta leave that in the world, man. Leave it. You're not that same person that used to get all the pimp. You ain't him no more, man. You gotta put that man to the side. Don't throw him away. Get rid of him and renew your mind. You can't be having conversations and things. You can't be having the same conversation you used to in the world, man. You know, you having sexual conversations with the bros. You know, you with the bros and y'all talking about, you know what I'm saying, some freaky stuff that y'all want to do to women. Like, now we gotta put these things to the side, man. He said, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And part of being renewed is kind of like you maturing. It's a lot of you maturing in this thing, man. When you renew your mind, you don't want to do those things. Like the brother said, you ain't gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta think about those things. You just don't. You not gonna do them because you mature. You mature through the spirit, and you may be young, but you mature through the spirit. Let me get this last one, King. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1 through 3.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1.
Yeah.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2, starting at verse 1. It says, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby, if so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious.
So, man, you gotta come into this truth and be like a baby. A lot of people want to skip the baby stage, the newborn babe stage. They want to go straight to the meat. They want to skip the stage of just taking it slow and just really learning and taking notes and learning for yourself. They want to skip that stage and just go strictly to the milk. That's why and you can tell, and it's truth, how you have some people, but they skip the stages. They skip the newborn stage. It's a lot of people in the truth that skip the newborn stage and go straight to an adult. So when they skip the newborn stage, they miss some lessons. They miss some things. They still dealing with some things because they skipped the newborn stage, the new babe stage. They haven't had the milk. They got strictly Diet Coke with a steak, and they ain't had no milk. They never had no milk or a pacifier.
Want to grow up too quick, man.
They want to grow up too. They grow up too quick. They seen so and so on a video, and like I want that. I want to be like that. And they strictly they skip the inner man. Now they got malice inside them, right? They envying, they got hate inside in their heart, right? In their spirit, they dealing with all these things, but they don't know that, or they don't care because they skip the newborn stage, man. It's okay to be. You got to be a baby. You got to start off as a baby. We all start off as babies, physically and spiritually. Or you should have started off spiritually as a baby. You know, so it's like, it's normal. It's okay to not know something. That's why you look into it to get the knowledge. Don't be so quick to go out and, step out and teach. Renew your mind first. Get yourself ready. Circumcise your heart. Then go out there and, do your thing through the spirit of the Most High. But that's all I had, man. If brothers want to say something, man, all praise to the Most High. I hope we were edified.
Man, it's a mighty lesson, man. Much very needed lesson, right?
Con. But that's what you had, son.
Con, man. This is stuff that we talk about all the time. Like, even though we're doing a lesson right now, the brothers you see on the screen and the brother that you saw on the screen, he had some technical difficulties. Isaiah, this is stuff that we talk about all the time. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about stuff like this since, man, years ago, right? And so making this video is past overdue, but it's something that has been needed, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, I like to always think about the Israelites, not only as an Israelite community, but as a nation of people, right? So not just the people that know that they're Israelites. This could benefit, you know, any and everybody, right? To the mega church people, the people in Christianity, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times they stuck in Christianity because they think they can get something out of it, right? So they need to check themselves, right? So overall, there's no, the brother Isaiah, man, Yeshaya, he made a video a while back talking about there's no, I forgot the word, no commendation, I believe the word is, right? But the scripture talks about, you know, we don't need a license. We don't need a certificate. We don't need a degree. We don't need none of that. We just need the spirit, man. And if you operate under the spirit, man, you're going to always say the right things. You're always going to do the right things, right? You may not want to, right? Like we went over this past Saturday, Christ didn't want to get crucified, but when you submit to the will of God, you're going to do what's right, right? And so at the end of the day, that's going to beat out scholarship every time, because sometimes if you're leaning on scholarship, you may get confounded because you didn't cross all your T's and dot all your I's. Sometimes if you're leaning on scholarship, right, you may start, and we talk about this too, you may start distorting the truth just for the sake of winning an argument, right? You're not humble or meek enough to say, yeah, you're right. The brothers on the screen, when we having conversations with people that are in disagreement with us, if they make a good point, we'll tell them, yeah, that's a good point. There's no point of lying and saying, you know, and sticking to your guns, right? At the end of the day, we're reasoning in the synagogue like Christ did with the Jews and the Greeks to win them over so that we can make it to the kingdom, right? It has nothing to do with scholarship, even though scholarship helps us increase in knowledge. It has more to do with the spirit you're in. But Khan, mighty lesson.
Khan, man, one thing you guys will find is that the person that knows the most, oftentimes when things get hot and times of affliction comes, they fold. And you know, a lot of times the ones that are actually take persecution for the Lord are the ones that know the least. So you tell me which one is gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? But it all boils down to who got that spirit in them to endure persecution, right? Because that person that's willing to endure persecution that knows less, I would argue he has the spirit within him more so because he knows less information about how this is true, and he just believes that it is anyway. It's like when Yahushua said, "Blessed are those that believe on me, but blessed are those that are gonna believe on me and had not even witnessed me, had not even experienced the miracles that I've done." Right. So just ask yourself, man, are you that brother that knows all the words, all the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, all the breakdowns, but if somebody were to put a gun to your head, are you folding? Because if so, man, it counts for nothing. All right. But Khan, I yield.
Khan, man. Hey, all praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High. So I'm gonna close off on that, man. All right, the brother Denal, the brother Azriel, and the brother Isaiah. All right, we the hopeful elect. We'll be back on here Friday. The brother Azriel, he will be on here Friday for his lesson, man.
Lord willing.
You said, King?
I said, Lord willing.
Lord willing, yeah, Khan, fast. Lord willing. All right, so with that, hey, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh Shemi Awashai. We say Shalom.
Shalom.